Well, in 2008, when Clayton Christensen and Michael Horn and Curtis Johnson originally published Disrupting Class, it was clear to them that online learning was poised to be a disruptive innovation, meaning that it would really transform the way that the world learns. But it wasn't yet obvious exactly how that would take place. So then by 2010, we started to get some idea for how that was going to look. And we observed by looking at over 100 organizations that the primary mechanism in which students would take part in online learning would be through blended learning. And the definition of blended learning is any formal education program where students are learning at least in part online with some control over time, place, path, and/or pace, and at least in part in a supervised brick and mortar setting away from home, like a school. And then within a given course or subject, the modalities are connected along each student's learning pathway so that they have an integrated learning experience. And what we've observed, we released a paper in 2011 called The Rise of K-12 Blended Learning, where we profiled 40 different organizations that were engaged in this nascent trend. And then in 2012, we updated the taxonomy, meaning the categories that we were observing of blended learning, and introduced 4 that seemed to typify the space. The report was called Classifying K-12 Blended Learning. And in that report, we identified 4 models of blended learning that seem to be most representative of what's happening across the nation. The first is the rotation model. And that's any time that students are rotating on a fixed schedule or at the teacher's discretion among learning modalities, at least one of which is online learning. So they might be doing small group instruction part of the time and then rotate to an online station and then perhaps rotate to a group project. That's a rotation model. The second was the flex model, and that's any time where the internet is really the backbone of student learning. The students rotate on a more fluid schedule, and the face-to-face teacher is the teacher of record who provides just as needed support based on each student's needs. The third is the a la carte model, and that's any time that students are taking a fully online course in addition to the other brick and mortar experiences that they're having. So say they want to take Chinese and it's not available at their school, they might take it a la carte online. And then the fourth is the enriched virtual model. And that's any time that students are rotating between on-campus and off-campus. So they might be learning online at home and then coming to school for enrichment, for face-to-face interaction and brick and mortar experiences. So those are the 4 models that we see. We expect that taxonomy to change and grow as the field grows. Blended learning is very much a moving, a new experience. And so we expect those models to develop and clarify as the trend continues to expand.